remember driving down the highway and seeing the first URL on a billboard. And I was with some of the really early guys at Netscape, Rob McCool and Mark Andreessen, and for them, it was completely phenomenal that this thing that they had worked on really as a college project, you know, this World Wide Web thing, was now on billboards. Did they expect it? Yeah, they did. Were they surprised to see it? Yeah, they were. So I think we're in the same phase here, which is, you know, people are getting into this. They're seeing that, you know what, we have the opportunity to change the way the financial system works. Very few people are perfectly happy with the financial system today. We are very much a global people as opposed to the local peoples that we've had an opportunity to change. So it's gratifying to see the ecosystem where it is today.
Just kind of getting up to date with what happened in 2020, 2021. I wasn't around.
I'm not sure. And then increasingly, of course, we're seeing...
I wasn't around. I thought I had no Bitcoins left. To my surprise, I did save a little bit and came back 2 months ago, 3. Found out I had, what, $2,000 in Coinbase and Ledger. I was like, oh, wow.
Right?
I'm dumb.
You know, but being embraced as a legitimate part of it is what it takes to get started. And the digital asset world, Bitcoin has the ability to do much more, but it's got to take hold, you know, as Mike said, across people in every community, every industry, etc. first.
I move away from Bitcoin Magazine. I don't like their podcast. I think it's too conspiracy. I told YouTube don't fucking recommend it. It's so weird. Like, these guys have 100,000 sub, right?
You probably heard about Bitcoin.
Then you go to their uploads. They're doing like live things and stuff like that. They've got a hard time reaching, what, 3,000 or so? You know, a day ago, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. For a channel with 100,000, that makes no sense. Successful channels are over at 100,000 subscribers. That's normally a good place to monetize. You get 20,000 views per video. You know, these guys have a hard time just going to 1,000 or so. So I don't see the 100,000 subscribers as legitimate. Sometimes they'll have some amount of videos that are interesting, like this one here, the conference.
Yeah, but being embraced as...
But besides that, not interesting. Okay. So the holdings. The news are very bullish on Bitcoin. People think altcoin season is back. But I decided to cut down on alts. I had about $500, $600 worth of alt, and if I would have kept what I had previously, I'd probably be at about $700 worth of alts. For me, alts is everything but Bitcoin and Ethereum. Alt, and I felt that was too much exposure on shit that hasn't blown up yet. Okay. And let's dive into that subject, because I think most people don't understand that part. So the fact that something blows up, right? You may think, oh, Polygon blew up in 2021, or Polkadot or Solana blew up, you know, at some point. But the truth is they haven't even done that yet. And some earlier coins also have not. OKB, for example, has been doing had a great performance. The chart, give me the month. Lately, I've been looking at monthly. The monthly is quite telling. You can see here 80%. That's above average. I view the average right now, at least mid-August 2022, as 40% monthly. Polygon review 63%. Solana probably not doing too good. But all the bad news coming out, still 40%. Very averagey. Ethereum, of course, about 100%. 84% monthly. But then we go to Polkadot. Who would think Polkadot would be up there? About 50%, that's pretty good. It is up there. Be done with that. Atom's been doing good. 48% monthly. Look at Shiba. 23% monthly. Not too shabby for such a big project with such a interesting community. I'm still a believer. Just like I used to believe in Doge. You know, I think Shiba will absolutely explode at some point. As they keep developing in the bear market, it's going to be fascinating. You know, so the question really is, which one should explode next? That's where you should put your money as an investor. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some fuckboy. Avalanche. Avalanche hasn't been performing much yet. Their 30 days is very fine. Very fine. People are still very bullish on AVAX. Uni's been doing good. Algorand, not too shabby, 21%. Still fine. You know, as an investor, you'd be happy with those returns. Chainlink, again, we just don't hear much in the news, you know, about them. 52% still. %. Yeah, look at that. Very good. So what I did here is, so first, you know, some people would say, okay, altcoin season is in, but at the same time, we've got some people, quite a large amount of the population that thinks it's all going to go down to 20,000. I mean, Bitcoin. So like, if it does happen, then these alts will go down by, you know, 35, 50%, you know, easily. You know, a lot of them, especially if you got more that's lower, right? When you look at these projects, they're all like interesting. You can already tell, like, I know something, you know, I'm in these projects, right? But the amounts that I've invested, I found was a little too high. Like these haven't changed much, but then here I had too many at 5 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 10 and 9. And then here I had way too many at $1, $2, $3. It went down to like here. That made up for $600 worth of alts. So I decided to cut down, because the truth is, as you go down the list, it should always be proportional, in my opinion, right? So $50, $35, $25, 22, 20, 16, 15, 10. There's still some gaps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, and then it should keep going down, like 80 cents, 60 cents, 50 cents. 40 cents, 30 cents, but it's still a little more than that. And the truth is, some might say, well, what the fuck are you doing with 50 cents worth of something? But the idea is like, look, if this is number 400 and you think it might become top 15, or top 25 or top 50, then it's going to do a 100x, right? At least, or 1000x even, right? These 1000s here, they can do 10,000x or 5,000x. They are really important technologies that are just undiscovered. And that's quite enough. I'll just say that, that's quite enough. Because if you're wrong, you get to lose all of that value. If you keep putting $1.50, $3 in everything, and you've got too many projects, you're really risking 100, 200, worth of cash, which should be in, that's 10% of my portfolio, right? And like, add up all these little amounts that you've got, and you'll realize that you've got, what we call trash, past 200 or 300, got how much of that do you have? Like, do you really want that much risk? Like $200 for me is 10%. That sounds like a lot to put into stuff that should be, $1 or less. So I went and I cleaned up everything. Like sand, for example, was at $7 at some points, and $6 and $5. Sand is a good project. People are buying virtual real estate in it. It sounds interesting. Metis is growing a lot, so I just decided to jump in. But it's still very small. It's a small project, right? And if you do times 100, because it is really good, then that's awesome. But I don't know that, right? Like there's a threshold of I don't know. Compound, is it going to keep growing? I don't know. Yearn, is it going to keep growing? I don't know. You know what I mean? File, is it going to keep growing? I don't know. What if somebody comes up with another type of coin that does similar, tech? You don't know, right? Whereas Lido, is Lido going to keep growing? Well, in the short term, most likely, right? Most likely is interesting. You want to invest something in it. Ethereum name service, is that going to go up? I don't. Most likely, right? Again, most likely, as Ethereum goes up. Near protocol has been doing fantastic. You want some amount of it, right? Aave, is it going to keep going up? It's hard to say. I don't know. They're like one of the leads for DeFi, right? Curve, same thing. Curve has been hacked. Poor guys. They were able to find all the money thanks to fucking Binance and someone else, and hold it. I was like, what? Either weekly. Look at that. Hacked. Boom. Comes right back up. Because it's a leader. Probably going to go up. Probably going to do really well, actually. Whereas if you go lower than a certain threshold, it's just, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Well, do you want to put $200 in I don't know? Or is 100 making more sense? Maybe. Is 1,000 good in I don't know? I don't know about that, That's just an idea. Plus, we got systematic risk. Elephant, for example, number 8,000. I think it has something to do with DeFi, very small project, very far, right? I don't know. Got 73 cents. I wish I could lower it to like 25 cents, and put the 50 cents somewhere else, like Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's what I've been doing. VeChain, sure, probably going to keep going up. But how long will it take it to go up? You really want to have your $5 or $10 stuck in VeChain for X amount of years still, And what's going to be happening then if still nothing has changed? right? So you want to think like that, right? Give it 5 years to go back to where you would like it to be, $5-10, and then make a decision then. But not now. Right? Maple has been doing great, but it's stuck in Hotbit, which is in hot waters right now. Can't trade. Same with Elephant. Same with any bullshit lah. So I've been accumulating because these are the coins that will explode, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, because we have institutional investments coming in through BlackRock. BlackRock, what is that? That's the first time I hear that. BlackRock institution Bitcoin. BlackRock is making a Coinbase deal with Coinbase to offer Bitcoin trading and altcoins to investors, institutional investors. BlackRock, again, what is that? It's the biggest asset management company in the world. 10 trillion they manage, not million, not billion, trillions. Okay, you can think of that's a lot of millions. That's like 10 million millions, dude. That's so much money. It's like 10,000 billions. But so from all the news I'm gathering, they are very interested in buying Bitcoin. That's what they want. And that's what I foresaw also. Because when you talk about to someone with money, you ask them, so did you invest in what word do you use? Do you say Bitcoin or crypto, right? So Larry, did you invest in crypto? No, you don't say that. You say, so Larry, did you invest in Bitcoin? Right? And then Larry goes and say, no, but I'll look into it. And they look and they type in Bitcoin, not crypto, Bitcoin, right? And they end up here on BlackRock and Coinbase and all that. So that just to tell, most of the interest is in buying Bitcoin itself. So Bitcoin has the potential to explode, right? And Ethereum also has the potential to explode, not only because of that, as an altcoin, like literally for them, Ethereum is an altcoin, but because of the merge that is coming, everybody wants their ETH too. Not everybody knows it's deflationary, right? So like again, all these people don't know all these things, but you do, or I do, or one out of a million who can understand that. Polygon sure is interesting. They've done partners with Coca-Cola, Disney. Let's look it up. Polygon partners, partners, Life Peer. Okay, Disney is here. Cola. What else? These are big news, of course. Google, well, of course. I don't see it as something necessarily very particular. When you partner with tech companies, they just want to, have access to the ecosystem, test and work on it. And of course, Polygon sounds very interesting to them, so it sounds very interesting to me. So my first coin is going to be Polygon, as to be the next one to blow up, right? Because if more companies, for X reasons, are just able to get into Polygon and wishes to do so, they'll do it, you know. Solana has been having a hard time, but it is set to be the like the third best project. You know, they're just having a hard time right now. Polkadot, I think, is very interesting tech. Reminds me of Ethereum, early days, when you wish you had $20 worth of Ethereum, when it was $20 an Ethereum per coin. Polkadot to me feels the same. It is the same kind of big dream, you know, that they want to be contract based, home for all these projects. They have a different structure than Ethereum, maybe more decentralized, I'm not sure, or just maybe more DAO, decentralized organization. I don't know. Litecoin, because I'm a believer and I still want my $20 worth of Litecoin. Litecoin, by the way, went up only 2x in the past 5 years. OKB I bought for $12 is 22. Tomorrow is going to be 23. Next day is going to be 24. With the rate that it's going, it's doing fantastic. And it's a good platform. It's one of my top 3 exchange. I really like OKB. They have educational material. They have all the tools that you need. You can stake, you can convert, trade, you can mint, you have NFTs, you know, they're like a smaller Binance, right? They just want to do things right, which, by the way, I'm just throwing in information, which, by the way, is a reason why I like exchanges still, because Binance, whether you like it or not, is number 5, right? Binance coin, a centralized exchange coin, is project number 5, and people still buying. So all the other exchanges are taking note, and they understand now. That's what you've got to do. There's no other fucking model. There's no other fucking way than trying to follow number 5. All right? And business model. You know, it's like seeing Amazon go to like top 3 stocks or whatever, and then thinking there's got to be a better way. Like, excuse me, that's not going to be the thinking. Other exchange are going to try to replicate what Binance did, because that's the business model. And so I'm bullish on exchanges. Other exchanges, personally, that are smaller, that have potential to grow, but if something happens, then they don't grow. Whereas Binance, if something happens, like government say no and blah blah, then it has a potential to go down by a lot, I think. And I'm also very bullish on, you'll see here, DeFi. But if you add up all the DeFi projects that I have, it probably makes up for about the same amount as $50, maybe just a little over, right? So I'm still very much not that invested in alt at all. I've got 1,000 here, 1,029 here. That's 1,000 some 42. 29 is close to 42. So let's cancel these two out. 29 and 42. We're at 2,300s. That's at 1,900s. That's 400 difference. That's 400 left for everyone here. And I think that's very reasonable. Now, I do want to have edge against Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And that's how, by the way, my total is increasing in Bitcoins. It's probably mostly due to ETH, but all of them. But I just have so much. Like, if you have half of my coins, right, you might want to put 200 instead out of, 23 something. Like, that's very reasonable. That's 10%. But I just have so much project, and I like them all. It's just hard for me to do less than I do, and I keep trying and reducing them. But it's hard, man. I believe in all of them. Like, you're gonna tell me Aave is ain't gonna go up, Curve ain't gonna go up, Chainlink ain't gonna go up, Algorand ain't gonna go up, Lido, Ether, Maker ain't gonna go up, Compound, you know. These are for tax, and just minimum in the wallets. There's nothing you can do. Yearn ain't gonna go up, Filecoin ain't gonna go up. You know, it's gonna take time. Don't know if I need $3, as you can tell. It's gonna take time. You know, $3 stuck here for years, not my thing, not my thing. Phantom has been doing great. I probably want to trade some of that for that, right? But yeah, the question is always, and that's how I'm gonna treat my alts from now on, which one of these will blow up next? And so that really simplifies my alt positions, right? Because there's no question, Bitcoin and ETH are about to explode. Or should I say, they are two coins that you want to accumulate, right? They are two coins that you want to accumulate. Clearly, Bitcoin you want to accumulate because it is the main player for everyone, right? Countries, for example, will allow you to pay in Bitcoins, not Ethereum, not Solana, not Matic, not Shiba Inu, but Bitcoin. They are the main players. That's why their value is so high also. And then Ethereum is the main player for contracts. It does everything that Bitcoin can't do. It does something Bitcoin can't do. As the vastest network, everybody's on it. Everybody's looking forward to be on it and stay on it. And it stayed number 2, right? If you want to know which one that you want to accumulate, it's the ones that don't change position in their top 5, right? But then the question is, what's number 3? And we don't know what number 3 is yet. You know, some will say BNB. I'm not so sure. It's not Tether. That's not a project. Just gonna put chat here. If you have a question, be able to see it. So if we don't know what project number 3 is, or 4, in terms of which one we want to accumulate, right? Like, what's the next one we want to accumulate? Polkadot, Solana. You know, they're still like maybes. It's not as clear as Bitcoin, yes, Ethereum, yes. You know, and so if that's really the question, maybes, and you can't put that much cash on that. You know, you're just waiting for it to explode in a way that, or grow in a way into the answer of, that's the one I want to accumulate. That's the third project. That's solid. That's going to be the future, right? And so we can't go and bet 10% portfolio here on, you know, 3 of them. I think it doesn't make sense because there's like unknowns, right? And as long as there's unknowns, you can't be reckless with it. You got to be very what's the word, conservative. So that's why my best bet right now is Matic, with all the good news coming out on Matic, and just at $50, because that $50 could be in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when you think about it like that, You're like, yeah, $50 in Bitcoin right now sounds a lot better than anything else, you know. Like, do you want to put $5 from Matic into Bitcoin? Would that be like a better idea? Possibly, right? That's what I did with Solana. It was higher, and I said, you know what? I think I want to bring $5 up there, or $10 into Bitcoin or Ethereum. So when you start comparing it and saying, well, do I want $75 of Sol, or maybe 40 will do, or like, do I want maybe 30 bucks of that into Bitcoin instead? You know, and that will greatly diminish the numbers that are at risk. Because the next coin that could come out could be like some, I don't know, like Near protocol. Like everybody wants Near now, you know. Now you got to move like some of that money into Near, you know, or Avalanche, Algorand. And the goal really is to catch the next one that's going to make the top 3 of shit you want to accumulate more of. Right? So that's a jump. That is going to be, it's hard for me to kind of explain it, but there is still a lot of room to grow for everything that is maybe a top 3, you know. Like Matic has the potential to do a 10x before like people are like, yeah, that's the future, right? And so you want to leverage that and not risk too much. You don't need to, right? Um, so there's kind of a clear delimitation, at least for now, between those things you want to accumulate more of and those that you are betting on. And when it comes to betting, that's a gamble, right? I mean, I'm betting on Polygon. I'm betting on Solana. I'm betting on Polkadot. I'm betting on Litecoin. That's the biggest gamble of them all, I think. I'm betting on OKB, right? I'm betting on Atom. They've got a lot of developers. People like it there, apparently. I'm betting on Sam Bankman Fried. I'm betting on you, the Shibs. You know, I'm betting on Cardano. You know what I mean? But do I know if they're going to keep growing? No. Do I know if Bitcoin is going to keep growing? Yes. Do I know if Ethereum is going to keep growing? Yes. Well, that's such a difference. Such a difference. We can't just have 200 here, 200 here, 200 here, 200 here, 200 here. If you feel the same way I feel, right? And so that's why I said, look, if this is still a bet, I can't put much more than 1% or what is it, 2%, 2.5% in the top bet that I have. It's a bet. The rest is accumulation. So we're doing pretty good here. Now the question is, would you bet more on, or would you want to accumulate more Bitcoin than Ethereum? That's like a tough one right now. Institutional investors could come in and buy a lot of Bitcoins, less Ethereum. Bitcoin first. They know Bitcoin. They don't know Ethereum necessarily. We know Ethereum, but not necessarily them, or what to do with it. But then is the merge going to be much more interesting faster than the institutional investments? Because it's been a week that they've announced a Coinbase partnership with BlackRock, and nothing changed. All we're seeing is people buying a little more Bitcoins, and I assume it's just people in the space. We're just accumulating the part of the Bitcoins that we should have accumulated some time ago. Okay, a lot of people are like, they don't even have Bitcoins. They believe in other things. They have a lot of ETH, you know. But once they understand that, these investors might know about Bitcoin and not Ethereum, then they start buying Bitcoin. That's what I think is moving the market. No event is moving the market as much. When Tesla sold their Bitcoins, the price crashed at 17,000, right? So when these big boys decides to invest, price is going to go up by a lot. And I don't think they're going to wait for the price to go to 20,000. I don't think they see it that way, because the whole world is opening up to institutional investments on Bitcoin. So they know damn well that the first one who do it, they can get a really good price at it, and then it's done. Price will go up, and it's going to keep going up. So I don't think they're waiting for Bitcoin to go down. They might, but I think as soon as they decide to do that, an hour later, they're like, yeah, but hold on, everybody else wants to do that. We're just one company here, and everybody else is going to get in the space, and they might not see it that way. They might start buying. So we should start buying. Is what I think they could say. That's why I in no way am going to be cashing out of Bitcoin and Ethereum now. There's no way. Even if it goes down to 17,000, I don't give a fuck. I'm holding way too much money. That has the potential to come in. And 10 trillion is just for one company, the biggest one. Okay, there's more companies. There's more US companies. There's more countries with companies. Okay? Lots of cash. That's their CEO, I believe. So yeah, $1,000 of Bitcoin, $1,000 of Ethereum, and the rest is just a bet. That's it. Our positions.
You guys were talking about the debt and how much, what it means to inflation and everything else, and which of course leads invariably to a conversation we've been having with you now for many years about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. You have been, I think, skeptical, a bit reluctant to dive completely into the pool.
Fascinated, but not interested.
Questions about what regulators will ultimately do, etc. I'm curious whether this Coinbase IPO or the moment we're now in has shifted or changed your views at all about where all of this is headed.
Now that's in 2021. He's not going to say that they've seen Coinbase, then.
Well, I'm still fascinated about it. I'm encouraged by how many people are focusing on it. I'm encouraged about the narrative. It may become a great asset class, and I do believe this could become a great asset class, cryptocurrency. I don't believe it's a substitute for currencies. I think we're going to have cryptocurrencies of dollars, cryptocurrencies of other currencies. But I don't believe we should be focused.
Yeah, USDC, USDT, CBDC, USD.
We should think about crypto as a substitute of currency, but I am fascinated by it as an asset class. I am still watching. I will tell you of our investors worldwide, we don't have that much inquiry on it.
Damn, Coinbase at 351.
Rick Reeder's been on your show talking about things.
Put a fine point of the world.
Broad-based client relationship.
I'm fucking skipping 10 trillion.
Our deficits and the about the markets. And that is real. That is growing.
Look, there's too much risk in getting flagged for using content. I don't care. 350 for Coinbase. Hold on. Coinbase. Coinbase. 90. They've been doing so poorly, though. Fucking nuts. I don't get it. They're the biggest exchange in the world, apparently. Like bigger than Binance. I don't know. I heard that. Look how poor, dude. $50 per shares. Now it's 80. I tried to get into those markets and buy here. I haven't tried hard enough. Plus, I can't use the damn website. Check it out. Let's go use Coinbase. We're going to trade our Orcas. Orca, by the way, is a coin for, and they have like a really like a big community behind it. I'm quite bullish on a number 773 with a big community, like 100,000 members, or you know, some good amount or whatever. My balance. I've used this website forever. Can you imagine if I had just come back and it gives you this? Look. And my bitcoins would be here. I'd be fucking fuming. Look. Connection trouble. And it doesn't matter how many times you refresh. I used to be able to just do that. Connection trouble. So it's really unclear why, like, I'm just not able to trade on Coinbase anymore. You think it has anything to do with my tabs up here? Maybe. Very odd. Very odd. So of course I got all my money out when I was like tired of refreshing. Thank God I did that. Connection trouble. All right. So that's the positions. We're just waiting as the month passes. We're doing great. I think we're going to go to 28,000. Then we will see. We still have to wait for September for the news to come out from the U.S. administrations, including the White House. Early September, 5 or so. We've got different meetings at that point. SEC, Biden. There's going to be different things coming out regarding crypto and what they want to do. I expect it to be very bullish because, as you can see, big companies are interested. They're not going to just say, fuck that and, you know, forget it. And I think that's probably where most big investors, you know, are. They're waiting. They're waiting for September to see, you know, what comes out. Is the US administration going to support, like they should, because a lot of crypto enthusiasts are American. And American companies and American investments. Vitality, isn't it the name? Fidelity, Schwab, fucking BlackRock. Like, these are all powerful companies that if they want something, you know, they'll knock on the door and say, look, can we get this? We need to make money. We're interested. You know? So I don't see, I think there's a lot of money to be made, and I don't see any banning or anything stupid coming out. But the investors have to wait for the green light. They have to wait for laws to come in and say, we like that, we're okay with that, go ahead. You know, from US administration, go ahead. They're just waiting for the go ahead. You want to do that? Yeah, go ahead, Biden will say. That is when you got to come back to your wallet and check it out. September, early September. Until now, all I see is just basic market movement by, not necessarily basic. Basic is like plus 5 and 7%, minus 7%. This is just the investors that are here, that are listening today to the news. Small amount of people who are in the know, like this shit enough to be here today, talk about this, etc. And they're accumulating. Repositioning. Understanding. Who can understand after reading a news like that? Not everybody can understand that. You know, after reading about BlackRock, Coinbase, ETF, ETF, by the way, are coming and have been approved. Like what? Why is it so old? Okay, I can't see it, but I think it was Schwab. I can't remember, but some ETFs are being approved left and right for these big companies, right? Because of BlackRock, right? Positioning itself with Coinbase, these other companies are responding. They're just responding. It's like the US when they decide to invest more money into nuclear weapons. Other countries are just responding to that and doing the same thing. Just saying, it's a reaction. You know, you have to react when big news is coming out from one big company and you're a competitor. You have to do the same thing. Take that step. You know? There's nothing wrong with taking it, so let's take it. Right. Oh, right. That's it. That's it for that. Too many videos, man. Click on like a bunch of stuff I want to see.
I just hear him outside dribbling on the driveway, dribbling down the block, just shooting at the tree, just doing his thing. You know, he's just being a good kid. It looked like he had a passion for ball, for the community. Your mom said he wanted to be a basketball player. Come here. You probably need a net. So this is
He bought him a fucking
Canadian Tire.
net or something.
Net. We set up a little something, and yeah, so now we got a net.
The nice neighbor.
A ball. And then more.
I bet he lives right there with his big truck.
They wanted to help out too, people from all around the north side. So they wanted you to have that.
Oh, thanks. This actually means a lot.
I know it does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see you dribbling the ball all the time. You need a net to shoot on, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
They don't talk much. That's what I think, you know. They're just seeing each other. They're not talking with each other. And then he decides to be like a nice guy, you know. Just do something nice.
To rookies in the NBA walk.
And you get to know someone. Hey. Our relationships are so complicated, I find, you know, as neighbors in a 21st century compared to before. I think like before it used to be more like community, like to my understanding. Nowadays it's just like I don't want to talk to no one. I'm the most I'm so much like that personally. Like I don't want to talk to fucking nobody. Find everybody fucking way too much in their fucking heads. Hey, Bambi.
OMG, I don't know what to do. What are you doing? Where's your mama? Huh? Where's your mama at? You're so cute. I can't touch you though. Your mama come back.
He's most likely feeding it.
Your mama
That's why he's
come
coming
back.
to the door.
Your mama come back for you. Oh no. Are you reading the scripture? Huh? Where's your mama at? Your ears aren't curled, so I'm...
Whatever. Housing market coming to a crash. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Look, they're opening a safe. I saw that one. That's a pharmacy. Is opening a pharmacy safe. As you can tell, these are professionals. They're able to open that. We'll watch this after.
Hi everyone. Morning.
Hello.
And two escape within 2 hours inside, totally unnoticed.
I'll remove the sound. Am I allowed to do that? Watch the video, remove the sound? Yep. They've got all the tools. Imagine what they can do in your house when you're gone on your vacation to fucking Hawaii or fucking I don't know where. Got all the time they need. They'll go through your safe. That's why we have the bank. Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh God, machineries. That's dumb.
Asset markets around the world have been crashing ever since central banks started raising interest rates, and it looks like the last domino is finally starting to fall. I am, of course, referring to the housing market, but prices have been.
We found something else that's better than a crypto cassette. I gotta show you that.
Many prospective homeowners wondering if a buying opportunity on your basis with the United in 2021 to increase the cost of another house.
Sure, prices are too high. What's up? I'm not good enough to fucking understand when some tree is gonna fall and the market is gonna crash. All you can do is kind of
have started aggressively raising interest rates,
whatever that means. I don't own a house,
and some of them have been explicit in their intentions to raise rates until inflation.
If I would own a house, I would try to understand better. So what is log? What is the log bot saying? We accidentally logged the entire airdrop supply instead of the liquidity. Distribution will commence once this is fully resolved. Please add your ERC to any receiving address from a non-custodial address once the website comes up. Thanks for your contribution to log token. We do not entertain fudding here. The bell, that's me. Crazy. So I was watching a video trying to see which backup system would be the best and most resilient to damage, because the crypto cassette, whether you like it or not, has a lot of moving parts. You can hear it, and it's cool because you can put back the letters into it. That's pretty awesome. But you should see the fucking test that they did. Let's do metal seed phrase test. You get to see a little bit how they test those things. I want to try someone to test the capsule.
If you want to store your seed phrase on a metal device to make sure it will last a long, one method even uses a mini acid bath to deepen the scratches. Punching onto a rod, and finally...
Okay, so just this part here will do good.
Now let's summarize the results. There are 6 categories of devices that passed all the tests. Engraving, handwritten with an electrical drill.
That's cool.
Thermal, stamping, taking a metal stamp and hammering the letters.
Oh, I like that
onto plates.
Oh, so that's the fucking set. You have the numbers? You see Y to Z 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 36. Does that make sense? 26 letters, 10 numbers. 36. That's 6 by 6. And you hammer it. Bam. Each one at a time. A lot of work. But like, what can happen to this compared to this, right?
Etching, similar to engraving but not motorized, just scratching your letters with a really sharp tip. One method even uses a mini acid bath to deepen the scratches. Punching, using a hammer and punch to make holes or deep indents.
So I like punching. I think it's quick. You just go like ping, pack, pack. But I don't like the model because it has to do, you have to translate your letters into numbers, and then you have this. And I feel like it's just, I don't know, time extensive.
On a plate. Stacking, by stacking pre-made letters.
I don't see how this is supposed to support a test of any kind. The little rod in the middle, I feel like could break. You know, like if something hits it, you know, it bends or whatever.
Onto a rod, and finally, tiles, where you sort pre-made letter tiles onto a metal holder. To prove each device could stand the test of time, Jameson exposed each one to a 2,000-degree Fahrenheit flame for 10 minutes, then dunked them in cold water and sudden cool down. Jameson made sure they could fail the most frequently.
The press, dude. When I saw the press, I was like, okay, well, you're going a little too far, aren't you now? How is this supposed to support the press, dude? You know, but the truth is, this also simulates, like, for example, I don't know, there's your fire burns, your house burns down, okay? You got the heat, and then the water, he threw it in the water to simulate the change in temperature from firefighters. But then this here, this test is so like, okay, so your house is burnt, done. You know your crypto is inside, the key is inside. You've got 20,000 or 100,000 or fuck knows how much. And you're just calmly waiting for the fucking, what's it called? Construction workers, you know, with their machines that dig. They'll just come in and dig, basically just clean the place. You can build your house again, right? But what if they hit the device with their crane or their machinery? So that simulates it. So I think that's legit. It's a fine way to test something.
For good measure. The category that failed the most frequently was the tile category. The heat caused the devices to warp in non-uniform ways, and tiles would...
Look. So this one I'm not a fan of because it's too thin. Like, you've got to remove like 9 screws, put little tiles in, and then screw it back on. It's not as nice as a design as this, where this you would just have to slide. I can't show you, just have to slide this here open and you can put the letters in. This is a big time consuming
tile category.
And look at the damage, right? They didn't press it though. They probably should have.
The devices
actually they did after.
To warp in non-uniform ways, and tiles would...
Look, that's mine right there. You just open it. Look how fucked it's gonna be, man.
Pop out of place.
Look at this shit. That's just from heat. Not the press, to my understanding. Just the heat. The heat expanded the metal somehow. And then they were able to move, you know? When there's a lot of heat, things move.
Place, leading to permanent data loss.
This one is not made of metal, and it never hold.
The acid had similar effects, and if it passed the first 2 tests...
And that is after the punch. Now that's fucking over.
And the compression and bending...
Now the thing I'm thinking about is, you may or may not remember somewhat your seed, which is not a bad idea to actually like think about your seed phrase sometimes, because if you're left with this, with the letters, you might be able to make up the words again. You know, you may say, oh, I think I had that word. Oh, I think I had that word. I had that word. And then you put all the letters together. There's a way out. That's tough. Not the best case scenario.
In the 3rd test would pop the tiles out of place even more. Only 2 tile devices passed all the tests. 6 frequently would avoid. Devices passed all the tests. Symbit and Cipher Wheel.
Right. Oh, really? That's surprising. They don't seem crushed to me. maybe they tried to crush it, it didn't work.
Beyond those two, this is the category I'd avoid. This category ran into problems was that when the lines in most punch devices help narrow your decision.
That's not too clear, the punch, huh?
My spread temporary, but it would be helpful to cost so you will price. So
anyway, he did a lot of research.
Because that way you don't have to do any of the double dot patterns required for smaller bit plate options. Take the least amount of time and hassle, right as bomb-proof. If you were going $29, additional security.
The coolest, wow. So this thing costs like 100 euros. Fucking nuts, dude. Because here's my plan. Here's my fucking plan. Where are you? Hello. I have a ledger, right? My plan, what I know you can do, so I like ledger because you can do a transaction quickly, effortlessly, etc. You get to control those keys. They don't need to be on your computer. You know, unlike my Exodus, for example, which is on my computers. The private keys are on my computers. If it gets hacked, it's gone. It's all gone. It's just that simple, right? Somebody's going to go on Binance and just starts transferring all the type of coins. But you can't do that with a ledger. Now, the question is, well, might as well. So when you have a ledger, you have a key. You can put your key on metal and put that away. Your passphrase, I mean, which is your master key. And then work with your ledger or your Trezor or whatever else. And have your private key off the computer every time you make a transaction. So all your coins can be out of the computer, which is good. Now, there's one thing that you might want to do is to buy 2 or 3 sets of these. So that way, if something happens to this or this, especially this, and your keys are lost, gone, and you are not able to do something, you've got a problem. How to say, if this gets jeopardized by some reason, right? How to put it? I think I want more than one wallet in case one of them becomes jeopardized for X reason. Yeah, I don't think I want everything on one wallet, because God knows what happens if this thing decides to slide and my fucking letters fall. Like you never know, right? You're supposed to be as good as the bank, but you can't be, right? So you got to distribute risk, and one way would be to buy multiple sets of these. So you have $200 on this one, you plug, you trade, come back, and 200 on the other, which become 1,000 on each of them, and this will cost what, $100 each or so. So that's one way. But here's the thing, all right? You can take your coins into the ledger, save your phrase before that, right? Put all your coins that you want, like $200 in the ledger. Then you go ahead and erase the ledger, right? All your coins are still on the blockchain, which you have the master key. Make a new key, not buy a new key. Open it up, reset it, ask for a reset, just reset the damn thing. It tells you, okay, here's your 24 words. Have another one of those. Not this, just one of those. Put the 24 words, and then this is a clean wallet. Transfer 200 or so into it. You get my point. Erase everything. You have another one of those with $200 on it in your wallet. Then you erase everything. Ask for it to give you another key. Get another one of those. Put the key on here, save it, transfer 200 into the new key. You get my point. All you need to buy is multiple sets of this, not this, because this is like $150 or $70, whereas this needs to be $20, $30, $10 if you can. So you don't spend on this, you just spend on keys. Now, which one would be the most durable one? And that you could stack one on top of the other, right? Doesn't cost you much. You get to make a new one whenever you want. Like, think about it. Your coins go from 2000 to 2003. I want a new wallet for my 300 more, right? You take one of those extra ones, you transfer that amount, right? It just seems so simple. And you get to manage, and then you get to do whatever you want. You want to put one in the bank, you want to give one to your family to hold on to, you want to put one here, one there, in the box, in the storage, right? It's distributed for added protection. So that, you know, for example, if you get broken into, they don't get all the coins because you just have one key out of like 10, you know? And apparently these are so durable that you can fucking leave them out in the open. They won't rust, right? It won't do anything. Like, limitless. But that's quite impressive.
In comparison to a typical punch plate.
So definitely not gonna do that. I want the
version
cheapest.
That lets you stamp the letters rather than use as to why some devices store a part of no list. If you're cheap, like me, then I'd go for the Safu Ninja method. You buy 24 stainless steel washers, then stamp a number onto it for your word order, then the first 4 letters of each word onto each washer. You can also buy a stamp guide to make hammering the stamps in easier and look a lot more appealing. This is also the most scalable solution because you can get washers even cheaper if you buy them in bulk. Another cheap DIY.
That is cool, dude. That is so fucking dope. And anybody who finds this, sees all the letters and stuff, they're like, what is that? You know? And then they might like turn it around and just see, like, open it all. But thank God you've put numbers on them. You know, that way, even if somebody opens it and lays down all of them in a random order, you can still put them back in the right order. Right? That's cool.
Do-it-yourself option.
That is cool. But you need to have the tools, you know, like my father has the tools. I could buy the letters themselves to punch. I don't have the space for that. I'm in an apartment. I'm not going to bang every, like, that's 6 bangs at least, right? Times 24. Nuts. Completely fucking nuts.
Is the Safe Seed DIY, which is also relatively cheap. In general, for do-it-yourself solutions, you're looking for stainless steel, copper, or titanium. Try to stick to a test with what you want to do. 3/16.
He's talking about the type of washers, the metal you want to use. Don't use a cheap metal that.
From Jameson's a lot of things right. It looks cool. You can buy
like this one a lot.
The logo,
Crypto
and it comes
key
with an
stack.
electric graver, all for $45. Better. Up is cool. You can buy it with or without the logo, and it comes with an electric graver. All
Crypto key stack. Let's go check it out. Crypto key stack. Lop. So Jameson Lop is the one who tested heavily all these wallets. I don't know if we can see him test. I'd love to see him test. I don't know if it's on like his website or what, but it's test wallet. No clue, man. I just want to see destruction of wallets. Crypto key stack. This person here tried to
did a couple of years ago in terms of how they stand up to things like heat and corrosion and all that sort of stuff. So having done that, I think the big thing we need to apply, I went over the letters too much. The only word list, you know, any ambiguity from isn't very good. Definitely pretty good using this.
A little messy.
Like inside, and I did it on the workout gauges, I just saw hand, which wasn't great. Whereas, you know, even with a bit of practice, actually painful and slow. The only other thing I would add is with something like this, I would definitely suggest writing the full word for each one. Try with some different batteries because it's just stopping the second I hit it. And we'll see if the question is whether I'm applying too much pressure or whether these batteries just suck.
He's going to figure out he's putting in too much pressure.
Let's go.
You think you're going to go right through the metal, you know, but it's not that. It's not what it's trying to do.
Basically, obviously I'm applying too much downwards pressure. We just want to sort of scrape the paint off.
I think he should have left in a lot of moments, like the unboxing should have been left in. He sped it up. The unboxing is a good feeling, you know. You don't want to speed that up. It feels good. Or as a viewer.
Alright, so that's everything that comes in the box. So we've got some back second I hit it. And we'll see if the question is
same thing with the writing. Just let it play out for a moment. I think he gave it not even a second.
Alright, safety goggles on.
Oh,
let's
look.
go.
And start.
Nope. Still the same. So basically, obviously I'm applying to scrape the paint off.
Alright, start. Oh, it's over. 200x that shit out of here.
And there you go.
So I like that there's a cover also made of metal and you get to hold it together. But it's not freely readable for once, and it's not fully exposed to elements because you put a cover on it made of the same metal.
Put the little screws that came with it through.
And you get to choose how many you put because you can see
another one.
You have more.
Some sort of say, you know, 6
you
or
can
7
stack them all together.
You were trying to store.
That I like also.
You would use these longer screws. And frankly, if
and one thing I like about it is, I don't know if you would ever give it to someone, but you could give one to someone. You want to pay for a car? Here's my wallet.
Anyway,
it has 100,000 on it.
Even after I've hit it with steel, steel, really practice that one. If you were to keep that button, actually content software while sort of go feed spread around was helpful. Hit like if you think.
I like it. I mean, I don't know how many come per box. Like, is it 3 cards per box or 7 cards per box? Like, if it's $30 for all of that, that's fucking amazing. That's finished, done. You know. You get to have extra ones for when the price goes up, and you're already prepared to transfer those coins over because you don't necessarily want to hold 100,000 worth of Bitcoin on one wallet. Like even Vitalik, when he moved his money to another wallet for X reason, he said that was scary, dude. Billions, or hundreds of millions. Scary. I don't see why it needs to be like that. It doesn't need to be. Just a matter of how much time and wallets do you have. That's amazing. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to feel. Oh, that's a little art. Makes a mess. Don't do it. You shouldn't do it somewhere where it's going to make a mess. Fire, ice. Metal contract. You end up with that. Guy, you should have wrote more words. Because people don't necessarily think this is good enough. But we read the word. Right? Very legible. Even if you like crush this with something, you can still read the word. Whereas this, you crush this with something, you probably are gonna lose all the piece. All the piece move, dude. That's so dumb. I like this format a lot. I like this format a lot. CryptoKeystack.com. Get off paper now. Go check out how much they sell this for. Buy now. Expansion plate. They're $18 each. So they've got this iodized process to put this black on the metal, which by the way is not paint, it's an actual process. But as you can see, it doesn't stick perfectly. 10. 159. So that's 15 bucks, 16 bucks a plate before tax, before shipping. I find that a little steep. But when you're ready to make a new wallet, it's going to be much easier to take a plate, take your tool, set up so that it doesn't make a mess all over your keyboard, because you're going to do that at your computer, you nerd. And rather than going to the shed, pulling all your tools and your hammers, and starting to work on another fucking wallet. That's a physical task. You gotta fucking love doing this. Let me tell you that. Because if you want to punch, you're gonna be doing this a whole lot. How many times? I said about 8, say about 7, okay, 4 letters, 2 numbers per washer. That's 6 times 24. Let's do 6 times 25 because it's easy to calculate. That's 150. Bam. 150 bam. Three plates, 41 bucks. 13 bucks a plate. That's okay. Yeah. That's reasonable. They're not like actually charging us more for plates than we need. 12 bucks a plate here if you just take the expansion plates. Oh, that's interesting. You could find 2 bolts and washers to hold them. You do need the tool, which doesn't come with that. And you could put a plate on top of another plate to cover it. Just because. You probably don't need to cover it, to be honest. Because if someone can just take it, unscrew it, and read the first plate, where it's over. So who cares? I like the format. Very thin, very light, stackable. You can lock your stack, right? If I have a bunch of these, I don't necessarily lock my stack. Maybe with something, I don't know. You can hold it. You can hold it together. Cool. 12 bucks. So what did we say? 15 bucks with the tool though. Yeah, so you can get it about 12, 15 bucks per wallet. That's reasonable. That's better than 100 euros per wallet. Say, put that money into Ethereum instead. Be bright. Yeah, that's interesting. There's quite a bunch of them. That's cool. So we're on jlope.github.io. Triple A's, 4 quad A's for BitKey review. Heat stress test, corrosion stress test, unaffected by acid, crush test. Not a problem. That's cool, dude. It played domino. This one. You can still read it. You can still work with that. Absolutely. Corrosion test, it's fine. Crush test. No data loss. No data loss. Grande, bigger. But like 50 euros per plate. Black seed. Heat, corrosion. You can still read the words. Wait, there's one up here. Read it with heat. Corrosion, it's harder to read, but it's here. You can still read it. I think if you would try to keep indenting it a little more, you might be fine. Crush, on the verge of data loss, but you can still make out the words. Yeah. You can get a test where he's trying to carve in the letters a little more. Black Seed Ink. That's the one, right? Block plate. Hey, this is some solid fucking shit. No data loss. Very cool. Bulletproof Bitcoin. Vires et numeris. Okay. These plates arrive with a bunch of pre-stamped words. I hand-stamped one and Dremel etched some as well. Pre-stamped words are really well done. Yes, but for security purpose, not just because of the company that you're giving your key, but also through the means of communication, whether it be email, etc. These things can all go through centralized database. Don't want your key to go around on the internet. So you want to have the ability to forge it yourself. Okay, very cool though. A cold bit steel. Felt like the stamping plate I bought for $5 on Amazon was far superior. It was nice. Stamping plate, a stamping plate. So we bought another stamping plate for $5 on Amazon. Cool. He says no at a loss. You can read that shit. I don't think it's great though. I want to find like a different format. They're all plates. By the way, they're all plates. Gold keys S. Crypto key stack. Crypto etch. Oh. That's loud. Oh, motherfucker. Same guy, same car, same street, same life. This one is interesting because you can see he only passed in once. So he's using a technique that carves deeply and only needs to pass once. What's that technique? It's really interesting because it's first of a kind. Crypto Etch makes it dead simple to safely create a steel backup via electrochemical etching. Basically, you remove the protective varnish from the words you want to etch, then you use salt water and electricity to burn away a few layers of steel. Initialization of the crypto etch is a bit more involved than most. I'll find you videos. The etching process was straightforward but required patience. Personally, I'm not so sure about the use of felt strips for distributing the salt solution. It makes it harder to tell if any etching is occurring. I ended up just covering the whole device. We're going to see all that in the video. Do you magnetize? No. Pass electricity through it. Through the plate and through the pen. When the pen touches the plate, electricity goes through the pen, through the plate, through the wire. And it just melts the fucking thing. And that's what we want. Plenty of discoloration, no data loss, corrosion tests. Oddly enough, it seems that, if anything, the words might be more legible now. Interesting. Crush, stress, test. Given the thickness of this steel block, it's extremely difficult to deform. No data loss. That's a triple quad A, isn't it? Oh, maybe it's not quad A because it's harder to do. Crypto etch. No, it's a quad A. $50. $50, but maybe for the whole kit, and then maybe one of them is just like $30 or some shit. Crypto keys. Cool. Or the Tor. It bends. Well, I'm gonna take a break. If you guys are interested, JLop GitHub. I want him to test like the washers. Okay, let's find the cheapest one first. $13 here. Odd Linux single plate. You gotta punch it. You just get a plate. Cool. $13, similar to the other one. This one you gotta punch, right? Fucking forever, 100 times. Whereas the one you could carve at least, it's or etch, I don't know. Easier to do on your desk. Another cheap ass one. No price for seed steel. $110 here. Symbit. Legible. Crypto steel capsule. It's $110, really. Adler Swiss. Damn. I mean, it looks cool, but for the price, you know what I mean? Safu Ninja. DIY. Oh yeah. The washer bolt. Puddle. Erosion. Brush test. Oh no. Bolt is finished. The washers are fine. I'm less confident in devices with tiles that could become loose and thus lost. I'm less confident in devices with tiles. These are tiles, just like these. Tiles. Right? He says that could become loose and thus lost. And I get his point. Like he was there with his bolt and he had to put the little tiles in, then lock it, you know. Basically saying, what if it gets crushed or something, and then it kind of goes around, and then as like a mechanical crane or something would pick it up, and then you would see the fucking pieces fall, and then you're like, oh shit, that's it right there, that's my fucking wallet. And you pick up the pieces one by one, maybe, possibly, you know, and then you're like, I'm missing one. I'm missing one. I'm missing number 17. And you search everywhere for number 17. You're gonna end up like this guy trying to find his Bitcoin, USB Bitcoin in the dumpsters. Because he fucking threw it away. And we can't find it. So I get his point. And you compare that to like something where it's like a block, metal block. You know, he works with other things like this here. He's like, that's easier to find and read than if you lose it. Okay, cool point, good point. Good point, and that's what I want to move away from. So I like that. So that's the goal lately. We got some time now. Just gonna try and find a solution where we can put our seeds, transfer our coins, reset, make a new seed, transfer our coins, reset, make a new seed, transfer our coins, reset. And then there's ways to manage that. Like, for example, if you're always going to hold 60% of your Bitcoin, but you're willing to trade 40% of them, okay, and you have 5 backups, then maybe 2 of them you know, you would use and trade, and 3 of them you would not trade. So there's ways to make it faster. So when you're ready to make a trade and you need to make a trade, you can do it quickly. You don't have to go through 5 wallets or something like that. There's also a management aspect to that. Okay, I'm out.